Well, the stakes just got higher for Full House star Lori Loughlin and her husband. They're facing new bribery charges in that college admission scandal. And that means they could be sentenced up to 45 years in prison if they're found guilty of all charges against them. So far, the couple has stood their ground, while other parents who initially fought the charges have caved, pleaded guilty. So will this new charge have Loughlin changing her tune? Let's bring in he's great criminal defense attorney, RJ Manuelian. So is this the way of federal prosecutors to add some pressure for Lori Loughlin and her husband to take a plea deal?
Yes, it is, and they made good on their promise. They told Lori Loughlin and Massimo Gianelli that if they didn't take the offer or they didn't come to the table, they would put pressure and add charges, and they did. And I think they did that, Mike, because first of all, bribery is a lot easier to explain to a jury than money laundering and fraud, right? Because money laundering is complicated. There's a 501c. A lot of jurors may not be able to wrap their head around it. And the fraud is also very complicated because there's intricacies in the law, in the jury instructions, and it makes it very, very hard for the jury to follow. But bribery is pretty simple. All they need to do is show the conversations. And I've read the indictment, Mike. If you go to page 96, it says it all. The conversations between Lori Loughlin and Massimo Gianelli. They're going to see that Rick Singer told them to be hush about it, that they only needed to say it's a donation, and that's the end of the story. And you see and hear, you're going to hear Loughlin say, okay, well, that's what we'll go with. So once the jury hears that, they're going to raise their eyebrows and see that there is a fraud going on and there's bribery, and it's a lot easier to convict with the bribery charge than the other charges.
Got it. Okay, so let's talk plea deal. Felicity Huffman, what she paid, 15 grand to have her daughter's test scores rigged. She gets 14 days. What kind of plea deal could Lori Loughlin be looking at?
Well, if she went early on to Judge Talwani, you saw the other defendants are getting between 0, probation, community service, and up to 5 months. But now that door is gone. That ship has sailed. There's no way that Lori Loughlin is going to avoid prison time. It's just a matter of how much prison time. I believe that Loughlin's attorneys probably are advising her to take the deal, but she didn't want to go to jail from the beginning. She made that very clear. So now there's a point of no return. So she needs to do damage control. She needs to go to the prosecution, beg for mercy, and seek a deal at this point. Otherwise, she goes to trial and rolls the dice.
Got it. So if you're advising, you say it's time we cut a deal.
Absolutely. Mike, I've read the transcripts. Go to page 96. You'll see the conversation. How is she going to be able to explain what she was doing, talking to Rick Singer about, getting the photo of the ergometer to show that the daughter was on the coxswain, the coxswain crew team? How is she going to be able to explain that, you know, what she was talking about when she said, all we have to do is get our story straight about the donation? How is she going to be able to explain when Rick Singer said, let's keep this hush? There's just too many things that are not explainable. So I don't think the jury's going to buy any of her explanation, even if she does take the stand.
Got it. RJ Manuelian, great work as always. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Mike.